Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I will tell you guys about um, my new beginning chapter after my dad had passed away on April 6th, 2025. So yeah, on April 6th, it was actually on April 5th at night when my sister noticed that my dad stopped breathing. I went to his room to check on him, and I put my head on his chest to see if his heart was beating, but it seems like it has stopped, and yeah, that was actually very, very not surprising because my dad was in hospice, and we did expect him to pass away soon, and I mean, it was just kind of like my heart raced when I didn't hear a pulse from my dad, and yeah, my dad's eyes were still open, I think, and yeah, honestly, during that time, I didn't really cry. Um, I was just kind of, I guess you can say, like a little shocked. Um, but yeah, the next morning, we called the hospice staff, and we also called the funeral home. They picked my dad's body away, and actually, probably one of the saddest moments was when they took my dad's body out of the house. I don't know. It's just very, very sad. Um, and yeah, the funeral home left a rose on my dad's bed, which, they were really nice to do that. But yeah, when before they took my dad uh, out of the house, we had me, my sister, and my mom had a final moment with my dad before they took him out, which was honestly very, very emotional. And then, yeah, we had a funeral after that. Honestly, during that time, we were very, very busy planning the funeral, and also we actually had the funeral out of state though, so we had to like transport his body through a plane and stuff, and yeah, it was a very, very busy time during April and May as well. We were busy traveling, and also, so many things, such as picking uh, cemetery, like where you want the body buried, and then tombstone. Just so many things, you guys. Um, you guys, I mean, you can search it up. It's just so many things you have to worry about, and yeah. So let me think. But yeah, during that time, I wasn't I mean, that sad, to be honest. I was just so busy with the funeral, and I was in like a state of shock. And during like the funeral itself, it was a little hard to cry. I guess just because of the shock. But the time that I did cry was when I first saw my dad in his open coffin. That was super, super sad. Wow, that was yeah, very, very sad. It was like me reuniting with my dad again, but this time in an open coffin. But yeah, um, but yeah, I was sad regardless. The funeral went on. He was buried, and yeah, during the entire funeral, I mean, it was we had lots of like cultural rituals. Um, like Buddhist Chinese culture, also some like um, cultures from the village where my family is from in China, and yeah, um, sometime after that, after everything was done, we just had to. There's a lot of like uh, legal stuff we need to take care of as well, such as, his estate. So that's also a freaking lots of like a chore, I guess. You have to take care of all this stuff. So after that, like his estate was mostly taken care of. Um, yeah. And yeah. I thought things would get better the longer as time passes, but I was wrong. I was wrong. Um, I guess like a month or so after my dad passes, after everything was taken care of, such as the stay at the funeral, there were times where I would just cry for no reason. My dad's memory would pop up in my head. I would remember his last days during hospice, which I think was popped up more frequently than the other memories, to be honest. But it was just very sad to think about his last moments, how weak he was. But yeah, those moments would just pop up randomly, like sometimes every day. Sometimes I would remember myself like almost crying for every day, like after like a month or so after he passed. But yeah, I would just think about him sometimes, and also when I listen to music or like take a shower, I would also cry. Like for some reason, it just amplifies the emotion. It makes me want to cry. But I think time doesn't really heal the emotional impact of my dad passing away. I mean, like it's been like so right now it's November 16th, so it's been like I don't know, 7 months already. And there's still times where I just think about my dad and his last moments, and I would just cry, especially when I take a shower or like listen to music. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think you just get used to it. I think losing my dad is kind of like losing a part of my body, and yeah, it's just like a new chapter of my life. Um, and yeah, occasionally I would still get these memories of him, and I would cry. But yeah, I think the time it's different for everyone. I think like right now I think it's a little bit better just for like some occasional times. I would just get a thought about my dad. I would miss him so very much, and yeah, it's just very, I guess, um, random. I guess some days I feel great, some days I just feel terrible, even though it's been months since my dad passed. Um, but yeah, what I try to think in my head is, try to enjoy the present moment. Try to enjoy what you do have right now, such as my mom, my cousins, my family. Maybe in the future I'll have a kid of my own, so I'll get to cherish that as well. So I guess we can't really dwell on this emotional impact of my dad passing away. We have to be happy ourselves. Um, but yeah, I still want to keep my dad in my memories. That's why I'm making this video, so I don't forget. Always want to keep him in my heart, and yeah. Another thing is, uh, my uncle also asked me like what kind of dreams I've been having about my dad, and at first I was, um, I couldn't really answer that because most of the dreams that I have of my dad, like I forget. But yeah, I did some research. I mean, the dreams you have at night actually, I think, reflects of what I guess what you think of the person that passed away. So in this case, for me, I actually took some notes of the dreams that I had. So uh, I just wanted to share that with you guys. So all right. So on June 8th, I made a note of a nightmare that I had. It's a nightmare where my mom passed away. So mom was still taking care of dad, but then she had to be taken to the hospital. Everything looked great. Then suddenly she died. Dad is still alive, and he was actually doing very good. I was thinking it was such a shame that mom went first. I was thinking, she would have been so happy that dad was doing so good. I was also thinking about how mom's body is in the cooler, and how we would plan the funeral, and how fragile life is. Um, so that actually had a pretty big emotional impact. When I woke up, wow, I was, wow, I was so glad that that was a nightmare. But the nightmare felt so real. Not gonna lie. All right, I had a dream on August 1st. It was very weird dreams I had, but most of the dreams I had were like my dad in his last moments when he was very weak for some reason. I don't know why, but here's my dream on August 1st, um, the night of August 1st. Okay, so was about to go to West Virginia with family and dad. I was downtown at the time with my luggage. I accidentally left my luggage downtown somewhere. It was on Cleveland Street. I tried to find the street on my phone. I did manage to find the luggage, but because of the winding streets, I lost it. Then, when I kept using my phone to try and find the Cleveland Street, it was very confusing because the directions would just glitch out. I went upstairs in a Chinese like park. Then I went downstairs. I jumped multiple stairs down at once. The hell? Actually, this stream, sorry guys, this stream has nothing to do with my dad. It's just a random dream that I had on the night of August 1st. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh. Okay, dream. Um, I made this note on September 9th at 4 a.m. Okay, dad's still alive after his death. Although he was still in deteriorating condition, he could barely walk. I can see in his eyes that flesh is rotting away. He was still able to talk to me and we had a great conversation together. I also took a picture with him together to keep the memory. So I guess this stream is very realistic because I am aware that my dad has passed away, but for some reason he is still alive even after death. In my dreams, I guess. Wow. I guess that was what I was in my mind. Yeah, it's very realistic because I know that my dad has passed away. But in my dream, I was very happy to see him alive again. Definitely. Okay. Okay, so this is a dream that I had on the night of June 8th. Uh, we were camping. We found a nice RV. It was at night. I helped Dad climb up the ladder to upstairs in the RV. Dad was so weak, I had to help him. Uncle also came to help after. I signaled Dad on how to move, and he signaled back uh, with me. I'm not sure. I think there's a typo here. I think I had. I think had trouble moving because of stroke. So this dream was also very realistic as well because in real life, my dad did actually have like a mini stroke according to the doctor notes. If I have interpreted the doctor's notes correctly, but yeah, when he had that after he had that mini stroke, he had trouble walking, trouble using his phone, and I had to help him walk around like that. So dreams are very realistic. Um, Man, that's pretty much how life's been going after my dad has passed away. Of course, some I know that in the future I'll still have these moments when I think of my dad and I just cry, man. And I don't know why, but just those his last moments were just so are like the memories that keep coming back for some reason. During the time he was deteriorating, and it just makes me very emotional. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes maybe I'll look through the old photos again, relive those moments that we had with him while he was alive. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I mean, that's the end of the story of my dad. I guess this is the final video I'll probably make about it. Um, I'll add things in the description just in case I missed anything in this video. But thank you guys so much for hanging around. And I'll see you guys maybe in future videos. Or bye bye.